Brian, I know y'all didn't score, but what you've talked about wanting smart soccer players in a game that's physical and intense. Like, how satisfied with your team the way they kept their shape and stayed in the game?
Well, a little bit of a mixed bag there, Maz. I would think that, we gave up some chances at the end. They actually probably had better, I don't know what the expected goals are, but they had a couple clear chances because we were stretched trying to find a goal at that end of the field. So I wasn't real pleased about that. I was pleased that, look, we've only taken one goal in 4 league matches, so that's okay. That's a good thing. If we defend well, we'll collect points along the way. But it's an interesting question. It's something that we'll discuss. Did we worry too much about the referee, something that's not in our control? Did that get us fired up? Why doesn't our soccer fire us up? Why can't we, the first 2 games were up here, and then the second 2 games were a drop. So how do we assess that? How do we, get back to playing the way we did the first 2 games? Those are the questions I just asked him.
Okay, we'll go over to Jeremiah.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this week how you guys were going to line up against the press, how you were going to press them. How would you assess that? And how would you assess?
I think we were able to move the ball up the field effectively against them, but I don't think we pressed as effectively as we could have, Jeremiah. I think we could have done a better job. A couple of goal kicks they were able to get out. There were just moments where it seems like we were just a little reactionary or a little bit late. When you build pressure, and then boom, all of a sudden you're on top of them. But maybe one guy was half step late, or one guy didn't feel safe, or, I don't know what it was. I'll look at the tape there, but my gut tells me that we didn't press effectively enough.
Jada.
Thanks. It's interesting you brought up basically the yellow cards, things like that. Do you feel that your team was relying on that more so than their soccer?
No. What I'm saying with the yellow cards is sometimes players get all fired up, Jada. They get all fired up, and I'd rather they get fired up about playing. I mean, we're all human beings. They're emotional guys in there. They all want to win, and sometimes that focus on the physical side of the game or the referees, which they don't control, that's where we have to be strong mentally.
And I just wanted to see if you could give an update for Jackson Rankin.
Yeah, he's got a bruised rib or something, Jada, and we'll give you guys more details next week.
Okay, yeah, Diego's fine. I see him there. And then Augusto slide over.
Buenas tardes. Considerando que se ha jugado contra el actual campeón y que este equipo viene invicto luego de jugar todos sus partidos, ¿considera este resultado como positivo?
Considering that we have just played with the current champions of the league and that they have not lost a game or tied a game in the games that they have played, do you consider this particular result as a positive result?
No. We needed to do better at home. Again, we needed to take some of the half chances, the build up that was almost there, and create more full chances. And then perhaps we would have, scored the goal that would have given us all 3 points.
No. Nosotros tenemos que ganar en casa, no podemos conformarnos con un empate en casa. Tenemos que trabajar duro para esas ocasiones a medias que podíamos conseguir, las convirtiéramos en ocasiones completas y de esa forma poder anotar goles y ganar los partidos.
Okay, we'll go over to the other side of the room. If there are questions here, we'll start. Yeah, that's fine.
All good? All right. How did you kind of plan for Nico, Albert, JP to kind of work against LAFC's midfield? We saw a lot in the first half that they would drop a midfielder in between in that left 2, and then they'd push their fullbacks high. Was that something you guys talked about in the week?
Sure. We know how LAFC plays, and, I thought positionally we were okay. I thought tactically we were okay.
I know that you didn't recognize this as a positive result, but regardless, you guys didn't give up a goal still at home in the past 3 home games. What does that mean to you?
Well, that's a positive. That's what I led with. I think, 1 goal against out of 4 in league play is it's a positive. If we keep clean sheets at home, we'll, give ourselves the best chance of winning these games at home.
Don't think I missed anyone on this side, so I'll go to Zoom. Nico Moreno, I see you have your hand raised. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you, Coach. Just a question on 2 performances. One, Raul Ruiz gets his first 60-plus minutes, and then Obed Vargas. What kind of led to bringing him on at that particular time? Thank you.
Raul was okay, a little rusty. He had the bicycle kick and some of the dramatic flair for goals that he has, so he was okay. I thought, we'll build him into game fitness, match fitness. That was a time substitution. We had limits on Raul's playing time. And then I wanted to get Obed some minutes. Both JP and Albert were carrying yellow cards in that area of the field. The game's wide open. Somebody, a little tug here, or late on a tackle, maybe could have been a red. So that was the decision for Obed, and he was good. I thought he came in, was bright. He created some stuff, good energy. You guys can all see that he's a very talented young man.
Okay, we'll stay in the room here for next one. Go to Mickey Turner.
Thanks. It seemed like you guys had at least reasonable control of the game until about the 35th minute when the yellow cards started. I know you're not going to comment on the referees specifically, but do you feel that that kind of took the flow out of the game at that point?
I think the game was a little disjointed because of the fouling, because of the tempo. We had talked about trying to create more tempo, more momentum, and it's hard sometimes when there's a bunch of fouls and yellow cards and stoppages and delays and stuff like that. So, it was challenging, Mickey. So, I don't disagree with your statement.
Follow-ups? No, we'll come over this side. Jada, go ahead when the mic gets to you.
I was just curious, as far as LAFC goes, you understand how they play, but they have some new players in those spots. In a sense, how did those players look, I guess, in a sense, to you?
Well, they have a good team, a deep squad. I said this earlier in the week, they do things a little differently than we do. They change players out, and John Thornton's done a good job there. So their players are good, but we have a great team as well.